Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Hello, hello. My name is Tyler, VSNYC, and this is our three-body problem reaction review series where we're going through the entirety of three-body problem in anticipation of the Netflix series coming out in March, but also because, as discussed before, it's one of my favorite things to talk about. And it's been a couple weeks. I was good earlier when I started making these videos about uploading once a week, usually on Monday, and it's been 2 weeks since I've made a video, so sorry for the break. The reason for that break is because I've started writing my own book that I've had in my head for about 8 months. And I've been writing a chapter a week, and it's taken up a lot of my creative time and energy. And so I want to finish the three-body problem reaction series today. If you're interested in the book I'm writing, I'm really excited about it. It's called The Junk Adventures. It's not unlike the three-body problem. It deals with some similar themes, actually. It's aimed at young adults for ages 7 up. If you're interested in being a test reader, you can reach out to me on Instagram. I have the same handle, and yeah, I'm accepting a couple more test readers. So, but enough of that. Let's get into the rest of the three-body problem, and let's get into it. Okay. This video will have a slightly different format than the others. We are going through chapter 27 through the end of the book, and we will not be going over every scene in its entirety, just my favorite parts and some ideas that I like from this section. And the first thing I want to talk about and posit is what I believe to be the main totem analogy symbol of the three-body problem, and I believe that is the sun. I believe that is the primary symbol that Lucian uses to explore the critical difference between our solar system and the Trisolarian solar system. And just in this last part of the book, I made notes about every time that Lucian does something like this. On pages 306, 311, 356, 382, 388, and on the last page, 390. I'll read two of these that I believe are the most effective to my point. This is page 306. This is Mike Evans, who is cleaning up an oil spill. He says, "By that evening, most of the birds had died. As I sat on the black beach, exhausted and covered in oil, I stared at the sun setting over a black sea and felt like it was the end of the world." And at the end of the book, we have an incredibly chilling end with Ye Wenji going back to the Red Coast base and seeing a plaque that commemorated her time there. And these are the last two paragraphs of the three-body problem. Over the western horizon, the sun that was slowly sinking into the sea of clouds seemed to melt. The ruddy sun dissolved into the clouds and spread over the sky, illuminating a large patch in magnificent bloody red. "My sunset," Ye whispered, "and sunset for humanity." Great. Beautiful. And without going into spoilers of other books, there may be or may not be endings of other three-body problem trilogy books that also involve the sun if you have read others. So that's that. Let's move on to the next part. Okay. The next thing I wanted to point out was an important Easter egg that Lucian gives us. This is actually on the same page, 307, 306, is Wenji's starting to learn about the nature of the universe. And at the top of book 2, she gives a character two very important logical keys that are in relation to the fabric of the universe and how it works. And you can see her start to think about this and get this on page 307. This is also Mike Evans talking. He's talking about the rules of the game for civilization. This is on 307. These are the rules of the game of civilization. My first priority is to guarantee the existence of the human race and their comfortable life. Everything else is secondary. If you know the keys that are at the top of book 2, you can see that they're very different. And this view of humanity, of comfort being such a high priority, is an aspect of both Mike Evans and Wenji's disdain for it. And so it's interesting to see how Liu Cixin is using that to start to form in Wenji's mind the keys that she will give a very important character at the top of book 2. I thought that was a nice little Easter egg. And one of the other final things I wanted to speak about was two incredibly cinematic and dynamic scenes at the end of the first book. The first is when the team uses the nanofiber to cut the ship in half. In particular, there's one part where they have this I think they call it the zither, and it's spread out and it cuts a person in half, and it's such a gross but awesome picture that Liu Cixin gives us of this thing just goes through a person, and then they fall to the ground in two pieces, and their hands are cut off from their arms. So I'll be curious to see how the Netflix series does with that scene. They've shown snippets of it in the trailer. It looks awesome. I have to say also, I couldn't make it through the other version of the Three Body Problem that's already out right now. It's like a shot by shot series of the book. I didn't like it because I'm like, I already read the book. Why would I watch the book? So a lot of people have recommended I should watch that. I can't. I'm just gonna wait for the Netflix series. It looks so good. And of course the other really cinematic scene, which is also in the trailer, is the Trisolarans unfolding and folding Sophons in different dimensions, and it's such a great resolution to what the heck has been going on this entire book. Why are there things appearing in film? Why are scientists killing themselves? It's because these Sophons have been shot to Earth, and they are either performing miracles or they're making people lose their mind. It's such a cool scene, and The Three Body Problem is just one of the most creative books that I've ever read. I've never read anything like it that is so... It's a book based on The Three Body Problem. That's how Liu Cixin started with these books. And that's all he started with, was this abstract idea of three bodies rotating randomly around each other for forever. And he turned that into such a dynamic, mysterious story. And those two scenes are absolutely legendary. And I can't wait to see them on the Netflix series. In terms of the trailers, man, I was on a retreat for the company that I co-founded at the beginning of January when the longer trailer came out, and I must have watched it 10 times, man. I also love Radiohead, so I watched that damn trailer 10 times. I just watched it before I filmed this just to pump me up a little bit. I think It looks really, really fun and good. I'm really excited for it. Um, there have already been just a couple people that one article said, the series has been seen by a couple critics, and I think one of the first critics said he felt really lucky to be one of the first person to see this. So that's good. That's encouraging. So yeah, I'm really pumped about the series, and in particular to see those scenes in in the series. Those and a lot of the three body game scenes I think are the most incredible in the book. Particularly the one where the three suns rise with each other and the whole world gets sucked like into a big meatball. Oh my gosh, incredible. So that is that part, and let's just wrap it up here. Okay, let's finish up with my official rating for the three body problem. I will use a classic rubric that the perfect novel has: character, setting, and plot. I'll start with the setting, which is a 10 out of 10 for me. The setting is perfect in Three Body Problem, starting in China in the 1960s, and then moving to the present day and going into the three body game. One of the most creative and mysterious settings ever. And then using that game to find sympathetic individuals to come together to form a cult that will welcome an alien race to intervene on human history. So cool. And the mysterious nature of scientists killing themselves, and the Tri-Solaris, the setting there as well. One thing I appreciated about the books on my third read through that I hadn't before is Tri-Solaris used to have 9 other planets aside from this one, but they all were eventually just sucked into one of the suns by by the nature of the chaotic environment. And it was only a matter of time before this last planet would be sucked in as well. So setting is a 10. The plot is also a 10. Really what these books are is the true, like, if we made First Contact and like it really happened, this is what it would be like. It wouldn't be like the movie Contact. It wouldn't be like Arrival. It would be like Three Body Problem. I remember I was so scared in the second book. I was so scared that it was going to be some sort of fifth element end to it. Something like humanity has love and the aliens really want love. That's the thing that we have that they don't, and we're going to use the power of love. Something like that. I was like, please don't be a book like this. And it's not. It's like definitely not. So the premise of aliens are now coming. They're 450 years away, and we are being sabotaged so our technology can't progress by these Sophons. Is just great. 10 out of 10. The characters are, I think, the weakest point of the book. I mentioned in a previous video that most of the characters are pretty. I forget what the phrase is. Like, I forget. I just read the dimension passage in Three Bodies, so I forget if it's two-dimensional characters or one-dimensional. But the characters are all pretty like simple. There are attempts to make Wenji more human. You know, it's interesting that she's She doesn't like humanity but likes humans. Like she's able to take care of kids, and um, I think the most touching scene in the book for her is when she is in the Red Coast and kids come in and they ask her basic scientific questions like, if you drop something, why doesn't it keep falling faster and faster? Why does it reach a terminal velocity? And she's able to explain this and show care for people, even though ultimately she is the instigator for the doom of human civilization. Potential doom, I should say. And so that is, I would give like a 7 out of 10, the characters. My overall grade would be like an A minus, I think, for Three Body Problem because of that. An example of like a perfect series, I don't know if you all have read the series Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, but that is a book where the three pillars are just about all A pluses. They're all incredible. Also, the book The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, very very strong on all three. But anyway, that's it for the Three Body Problem review reaction series. I might make a couple one-off videos as we get closer to the release date of the Three Body Problem series on Netflix. So, yeah, thanks everyone for watching and commenting. This was really fun to do, really fun to talk and think about the Three Body Problem. Thank you to all who commented and joined me on this. It was a fun little adventure, and I cannot wait for March. It's not far away now. It's like a little over a month. Woo! So, thank you all for watching. My name is Tyler Verse NYC, signing out. Bye now.